Friendship scars I will never forget. And don't come for me saying, oh, how will you never forget? How will you say you never forget? Some of us are just born with retentive memory, and even though we forgive, some things just stick. Like sometimes it's a blessing, but it could also be a curse. When you're acing your exams and you're having distinction and you're doing well in school, it's a blessing, right? Because your memory is sharp. But also the downside of it is that there are some painful experiences in life that you really want to block out and forget, but nope, like a magnet, like my daughter will call it sticks to you. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a few friendship scars that I will never forget. Let's just put it that way. So all of this stuff started coming out for me when I started going to therapy earlier this year. Yes, your girl started therapy, and we'll get more into it in a later video. But I've realized that with therapy, right, you start to dig up things that even though you didn't pay attention to or you've buried way deep down, you just have to dig it up in a way just to make sure that it's really what you say it is, forgiving and not affecting your life. For me, I feel like if you ask me now at this my big age, how easy is it for me to make friends, I'll tell you I'm struggling. I've made a reel on this on Instagram a while back. I just feel like adult friendships are a lot, but I'm realizing now by being in therapy and digging up stuff that it didn't start from just me saying adult friendship. It has to do with scars that I've piled up and carried over the years as a result of friendships, even from childhood, and in a way, shape or form, look at me, it is affecting how I make friends. And before I would think that it's just because by virtue of what I do and stuff like that, I don't really have time as well. But now I'm realizing, so that's the good part. At least now I'm facing my truth and realizing. But I think while talking about these things too, I've come to realize that if you can think on something and you don't feel pain, it means that truly you've forgiven and you've healed, right? So these are some of the issues that some are way back, like 10 years, even 20 years back, yes. Others are like maybe pretty recent, but all of these are things that they don't affect me. Some of these people have gone on to still see how we can make our friendship even better. Some were trying. The friendship is really in the trenches, okay? Things said and done that cannot be taken back, and we're out here struggling. Adult friendships are no joke, but I mean, you were trying. A for effort, E for effort. I don't know how to say that thing. And for some, it's just let bygone be bygone. I know in each other's lives, we wish each other well, but yeah, the ship has just sailed. So all that to say that these are the things that have dug up in therapy, and I just want to say thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is a virtual therapy service, and they have over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who are available to help you with a wide range of issues. Someone who is trained to listen and give you unbiased advice, because let's face it, when we talk to even other friends or family members, there can be sentiments involved. So with BetterHelp, you're getting someone from a neutral perspective who can give you their unbiased advice, and of course with that sprinkle of even being trained for it. Signing up to BetterHelp is pretty easy. You go to their website, you can use my link betterhelp.com/Tolulokpe, and then you answer a few questions, and with that, BetterHelp will match you to the best fit from their network. My favorite feature is that if along the line you feel like you're not connecting or being able to be vulnerable with your therapist, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost to you, and it's pretty much convenient. You can access therapy from comfort of your home through your phone or your computer, either by phone call, video chat, or even messaging, just whatever is convenient for you. Once you sign up, you'll be matched with a therapist usually within 48 hours, fast and easy, and you get to it. So if you like to speak with someone and explore the options of how therapy can help you live a healthy and better lifestyle, then you can check my description box. Again, it's betterhelp.com/Tolulokpe, or you just use Tolulokpe Solutions during sign up, and that also gives you a special discount for your first month. So go on and explore therapy. Like, I'm loving it, and I'm sure you will. Now let's get into the crux of the things that the shaggies that I've seen in friendship in this life. If you ask some of these people, you know what, it's funny that I am maybe the villain in their own story, and that's okay. So please, before you come and start judging to say you were wrong, you were right, this is not a place for you guys to put me on a platter to be dissecting it. I'm sorting that out in therapy. Thank you very much. Just there to put that out there. So the first one I'll say is, I think this was about 10 to 12 years ago. I'd helped someone literally get a job. And the way you used to work back then, I don't know about now with that organization, is more often than not, if you submit your CV, nobody's gonna call you. Like, based on merit, it's gonna be there for the most part. I think, not to just generalize, there's a 5% chance that you get called, but imagine how, unlucky that scale is. So for the most part, it's nepotism. People who submit CVs organization wide for the people that they know, and as God will have it, I was highly placed. I was putting in CV for a lot of people. I'd done this a lot for friends and family and people that I knew. Like, my mom would even call me, oh, my friend's child, like, in my own little way, I was doing the most, just getting foot in the door for people. Now, don't get me wrong, that does not mean you have gotten the job automatically. It still means that you then have to write an exam, but that's the first step, right? Yes, you still do the exam and pass it. It's still on you, right? But at least I've gotten you through the first step by the grace of God. So I've done this for a couple of friends, like I said, and I know how much, like, especially when they go on to get the job, how much gratitude and how much, thank yous come from it. One of my friends, she even came all the way from Ibadan to Abuja, where I was at the time. She stayed in my house. Her mom will call me, like, her mom was literally on my case after she got the job. I helped her in such a way that she was sent back, to the west, to the west instead of being in the north. Like, Thanksgiving upon Thanksgiving, right? So there was this friend of mine who we literally grew up together. We were very tight, and at that time, she messaged me to say, listen, this job I'm doing, they're paying peanuts, I could use your help. So I'm like, fine, let's do it. And at that time, it was even a hassle because I was having some complications with some of the people up top that were available to help me. But I'm just like, what, despite what I'm facing, I'm gonna help you. So I go on and I push her CV, and I was like begging and even putting myself in vulnerable situations to say, please, this person, she needs the job, yada yada. So as God will have it, they called her, she did the exam, she got the job. Guys, till tomorrow, I never got a phone call to say thank you. And trust me, I've come to terms with this. When I do things for people, fundamentally, the first thing I know in my heart is I'm doing it for God. But just for, is it posterity's sake, we call it, just for vibes, right? Say thank you. Like, even the Bible says it, like, if you're not thankful to man that you can see, how can you be thankful to God? Till tomorrow, I still don't know what's up. And it's not like the friendship automatically went down. Now, around the time she wanted me to get her foot in the door, she would come to my house, she would call me severally. Like, you could tell the friendship was even juicier. But once she got the job, the relationship just like we would say hi on Instagram, just vibes, banter, but I never got a call to say thank you so much. Guys, years later, she's still at the organization, she's still doing the job. Like, it was literally a breakthrough job for her from where she was coming from. To top it up, one time she did an Instagram post appreciating friends and people in her circle were there for her when she lost someone close to her, yada yada. I was just swiping, like, she was thanking friends for this, for that, and I'm just swiping and swiping. I'm just like, sure, even the people that you're tagging is nothing close to this that they've done. But we thank God that, we do not wait for the accolades of men, or do not let things like that, most importantly, affect how, you help other people going forward. Because I could have held on to that to say, I'm not even doing this for anybody. But, no, I'm not let your ingratitude stop my own blessing. So I still went ahead and I was doing what I knew how to do best for even a lot of people who were grateful for it. But yeah, that's just one. And I feel like since that time, our friendship has never remained the same. I will not sit down here and tell you that it has never affected her. I relate to her till tomorrow, till today. I still always like see it as a, yeah. And even from my side, right, it just felt like things, so for whatever reason it was that she didn't feel the need to say thank you to me, or maybe even take me out to dinner to celebrate or whatever. Like, this is a great job, but I digress. So yeah, that's the first shiggy that I've seen in friendship. This second one, guys, ready, set, go. I'm sure some of you are like, Tolu, how are you still this graceful? Trust me on God. So with this person, tight, like we could call ourselves sisters. We used to mingle together even with my sisters. Like, we were rocking it, doing the whole sisterhood thing, serving God, loving God. But relationship wise, like, there were complications around relationships for her. So long story short, and my friends have always been older than me for the most part. I think 80% of my friends have always been like 6 years, 5 years older than me. Anyway, so So this person had like complications with relationships, but like I would be praying that God, I want this person to get married. And I don't want to go into much details because I'm not about to give anything away to even mutual friends. But long story short, she ended up meeting somebody who was dear and special to me as well, in my house actually. So they met in my space, and this person was like a brother to me, and they started going out. At the time they were going out, I was not in the country, so I didn't even hear about it. Like, I expected that homegirl would call me to say, yo, I'm on a P with your brother, yada yada. Nothing like that. And I was just like, so when he eventually told me, like, he was the one who called me, and at this time even, like, our relationship was not as Jim again, because obviously I think apart from the fact that he's a guy, it was just that distance. Like, bros, you can't compare relationship with bros to like your girls, right? But he still called me, still told me how they, kicked things off, and how like he's enjoying the relationship, yada yada. So my disappointment was like, the least you could do was call me. Like, yes, there were other issues we're dealing with, but you could have told me that, knowing that me and this person were tight. But anyway, I didn't hang it over my head in any specific way. It did create a little bridge, but like we're still talking. So I'd come back to country, and I was like, yo, I'm around, yada yada. So one fateful evening, my brother guy starts to call me to say one or two things, and I started to give him my counsel. But for the most part, I was just like, listen, you're marrying this one. Guys, imagine. I was still like, you're marrying this one. But I remember there were times where, I don't want to give too much away, but the angle it was coming from was too much for me, and I'm like, I don't want you to now hang it over my head to say I'm the one that made you marry somebody by force. If you don't want to, don't. There was one instance I literally said that, but for the most part I would even remind him of some of the things I knew about him, to say, come on, you of all people should not even complain about this, because you two, you had this and that. This is not yabs. Baby girl, if you're watching, I have chats. Anyway, so but for some reason our relationship already was weird with the lady, and then for some reason she saw that particular place where I was like, listen, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I'm wondering now, like, did you automatically skip the messaging where I used to root for you? Did you automatically skip the part where I was the one that took him to buy wedding bands for engagement for you? Like, did you automatically skip that part, right? This is a friendship that has just gone down the drain, and we never just bothered. We'll just like each other's stuff here and there on Instagram, just to show that, hey, this is. But the relationship never mended to how it was. So yeah, and it would have just been nice if everything tapered off and there was nothing. But one time I'm just like, you know what, this was the year I was getting married. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to let bro come in between what we shared. So I remember that day she had done like engagements, yada yada. So I had called her to say, listen, I know that you're pissed. I know why you're pissed. Your fiance already told me, excuse me, your fiance already told me that you saw some messages and you were pissed. Guys, I was on the phone talking away for like 35 minutes, explaining myself, saying that, see, listen, if there's anything, I've always been on his case to get married to you. I finished everything. Do you know the one-liner that my friend used to reply me? She just said, okay, but I don't discuss my fiance with other people. I had to take the phone off my like, hello. I was just like, what? Say what? So I went on to say, come on, this is not just fiance. Come on, this is like my brother. I'm not telling you to discuss with like a random friend. This person in question is a brother to me, so to speak. And she was just like, well, now that you have a fiance, was I engaged? I was engaged. Now that you have a fiance, and I know he has sisters, do you discuss your issues with his sisters? I just said, well, that's my cue right there. Well, no problem. Sorry I came to interrupt you, as you were, my darling. And yeah, that was the last time we spoke. And no, actually, I'll be wrong to say that, because when I gave birth to Tara, for instance, she said congratulations, like on Instagram. But that was the closure that our friendship sailed off of. And yeah, I think the extra that now even paid me on top of that was like when I was getting married. Even if she wouldn't come, I was expecting that her husband, who was like my brother, would come till tomorrow. Not even the ashwabi I sent did he go to collect, and I knew it was based on influence. So yeah, that really hurt me. Like, it was a scar that I was just like, come on. And don't just be listening to just go in the comments and let this community know that we people that are trying adult friendship are saying shaggy. So comment the experiences that are brutal that you've had in female adult friendships, and let's just go by it and talk about it. For the third one, it's just something similar to this. There's also like a guy friend that I grew up with, friends of family. We were tight, we were close from when we were young, but obviously as life began to, everybody was finding their food. But like young love, nothing, like it was absolutely nothing. It was just everybody knew that this one and this one, just be watching them, that kind of thing. And we would exchange letters and things like that. But like we're like siblings. We were there for each other as we were growing up. For even all the school exams and stuff we went to do, we were like going together. We did like maybe 2 or 3 post UMEs together and things like that. But in some way, shape or form, I don't know what happened. He too got married to his sister girl, and for some reason it just felt like the sister girl was like, I don't want you talking to this baby, because tell me why. Even while they were dating, I already felt like this relationship was damaged. Like, the vibe, it was even so unusual that I would be the one calling him to say, how far? I gave birth, you could not call me. That was how the hustle I started to do after I had my daughter. And then like I was already married, so what's the problem here? I don't get. But obviously, for whatever reason, I think that maybe his wife told him that he couldn't continue the friendship, whatever. But I respect that. I don't understand it, but I respect that. And that relationship too has just been severed since then, which is okay. And the irony is that the families are still close, right? And it was in such a way that so the siblings are also like age mates. So it just happened that it was me who had the opposite sex sibling, and we're friends, right? So my sister and his sister, my younger sister and his sister, like that. But everybody's still friends. But me and him were just like, we don't even say hi on Instagram. I'm sure if we see outside, we'll just say, hey, how are you? But I still keep tabs on him through the other members of his family. Now he's also like married, a dad, and all that good stuff. He's doing well, and I'm happy for him. But yeah, that's also a scar. Shout out to him and whoever the babies that told him stop talking to me. It's all good. It's all good vibes, yo. I have a lot, but I'm going to just say 2 more. I remember one time I was literally almost stranded. I'd done a video about talking about how I was homeless, please, homeless. Like I didn't have a place to stay. I was trying to get my foot on the ground after I'd, left the country, come back and stuff. I was staying with someone. So this person is not even my friend, but she's a family friend. And that day I remember I had like a ton of stuff that I had brought from where I was living before, the city I was living before, into Lagos, and it was just there with where did I put it? I put it somewhere that was not the most convenient or the ideal place. So I was looking to move them over to her house. So I was in her house, everything was fine. Obviously I think back now and I see how everything was fine because number one, I didn't have a lot of stuff, and number two, most importantly, she was benefiting from me being there in a way, shape or form. I'm not going to go into details, but I was helping her out with stuff that literally she didn't have anybody that could help her with at that time. So obviously it makes sense why it was easy for her to house me. But I remember that day I was actually not even moving the stuff to her house. I wanted to move it to my other friend's house, so I was eventually going to stay with. She gave me a whole room in her house and things like that. So I just told her that, listen, I need to go pick up my stuff. I'd been saying it from the day before because I wanted her to drive me. So I said, please, you need to take me to this place. I need to go pick up all my stuff. But I didn't actually tell her that I was taking it to my friend's house. I was just saying I need to go pick up my stuff, and immediately I just said, from where to where? Like, pick it up from where to where. Like, it wasn't from like, oh, give me the details. It was like, literally, if you're right, you understand. It was like, why are you bringing yourself to my house, kind of thing. So I had to, like, it was a very hurtful statement for me because I just felt used. So I found an alternative way of packing myself from that person. I just went straight to my friend's house. Obviously when I left, she was a bit stranded because she was no more benefiting the way I was serving her. But it just showed that, like, it was just load, my dear. It was just load. You were already doing the housing because you were getting some help. It was just load. But yeah, that didn't affect our relationship in any way, shape or form. Actually, we're still tight. We're still good people. I never told her about it just because vibes, let's be going. But yeah, that's that. And lastly, that I'm just going to say here was one time I was also, this particular reason is why I don't know how you guys that do like friendship cliques do it. Like, I've always been the mutual friend in my friendship cliques. Let me explain. Like, if there is a birthday, to not be that, oh, we are four that we know each other, we're in the same clique. It's mostly I know you through this person knows me, this person knows me, this person knows me. Like I call myself the cynosure and the magnet that brings friends together. Like I've never done well with friendship cliques. I would have like tight friendship here, but to say 3 of us are tied together. One time I even tried it. I brought like that's another one. I brought 2 of them to my house. They were living with me, eating my food, and then they ended up being tight. So at the beginning it felt like, at least 3 of us are living together, yada yada. But when I saw the way their own friendship took off, like it got to the point where they would be whispering things while I was there. I saw that emphasizes my point. But like I was saying, like this is another scar that I know that how to do clique. God will have to help me. So anyway, long story short, I heard her talking to another of her friend about her friend. It was not my business. I was just hanging around and I heard her saying something. So like in my mind, that person is even closer to you than this person you're telling this stuff to, right? Now this person you're telling this stuff to is credible, probably won't tell anybody, but for me it was just like like this is why friendship circles don't work for me, because I feel like you are comfortable with that person and that's okay, but I am not, right? And it is not in your place as my friend to go spill my beans to them, right? Yes, you know that they won't tell, but am I comfortable? Like if I wanted to tell them, I would have, right? But I told you for a reason. So things like that just make me so fearful of friendships, but I could go on and on. I recently, however, revived a 10-year lost friendship, and maybe I will talk about it sometime. If you want me to talk about that, leave a comment below. And it was actually nice to see how we kick things off. I didn't speak about, the scar from that friendship in any of this instances that have painted, but yeah, there's that. There's also even one that's like pretty fresh. I'm trying to navigate. Listen, adult friendship, how are you people doing it? It's not for the weak, but shout out to like friends that come without any air. Like I still have, I'll say 1 or 2 or 3 actually, who at least I can say so far so good. We've had bumps on the road, but it's nothing that would cause me to be scared. And for you guys, I am grateful. And yeah, that's it. That's my story with friends. I don't see shaggy, right? I know. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to subscribe on your way out. Take care. Bye.
Whenever your heart is broken.